Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. It's Whiskey Wednesday. We've got us a Kansas Distillery tonight.
My shirt has nothing to do with Kansas. It actually shows the Denver Bronco.
It's close.
Yeah, Midwest.
Kansas City, Lenexa, Kansas, actually Distillery. Mm-hmm. Dark Horse Distillery. DHDistillery.com. Actually saw this in the local liquor store, and there's a couple of distilleries now operating in Kansas. We're going to try them both.
Right.
Dark Horse Distillery, and actually I've seen this is their bourbon whiskey.
44?
I think it's a little
44.5 ABV.
And I've seen a rye. They have a rye also, which we have not tried yet.
Now they actually distill this in a copper still?
Copperpot still.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, good. And one thing we love, no matter what, is that all these little distilleries popping up. It's very reminiscent of the early 90s with all the micro brew distilleries or breweries popping up. And awesome. You know, I hope we get more and more and more and more tons. So my notes disappeared. On the notes,
I'd be interested to see what their output is. And actually, the guy in the liquor store said that this batch is a lot better than some of the earlier batches from the Dark Horse Distillery.
Okay, well, I'm glad you picked it up because I just had a couple guys telling me about, hey, there's some kind of distillery in Lenexa. And I think they might have even said the name, but I couldn't remember it, and boom, you show up with this.
Yeah.
Now, the nose, though, I get kind of a lacquer with a syrup and then like an slight iodine hint.
I get that corn alcohol that's present in a lot of bourbons. I get the brown sugar and I get the vanilla that's in there as well.
All right.
I actually have in my notes, and I did not know at the time this was from a Copperpot still, but it almost reminded me of an Irish whiskey on the nose.
Yeah, I see what you're saying on the vanilla notes. I do get on the taste neat. I do get a wood, but it's like a mesquite wood that I pick up off of it. A mesquite wood with charcoal, and then I do get that corn syrup sweetness. What are you getting?
From my notes, let's see. Vanilla, I get the brown sugar, and I get a molasses. It's very creamy. It's different than some of the other bourbons that I've had.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't pin down what it is. I haven't had enough of them to pin down what it is that's in there.
Well, that's exactly. I mean, this doesn't taste like the typical bourbon that I'm used to.
No.
It almost feels like some cross between a bourbon and a scotch almost. Because I don't get that typical bourbon creamy taste, sweet taste. And maybe it's that mesquite kind of wood flavor I get that is so reminiscent of the oak that I'll pick up in some of the scotches.
Now, they do have that they add some wood pieces.
Yeah, I don't know. I wondered what that is. Adding the touch of water opens up that mesquite a lot more for me. The syrupy and the iodine taste or smell is gone.
So I didn't get the iodine with it at all. Now, I will say, too, that on the front, in a silver Sharpie, it is handwritten. This was batch number 5, bottle 770, and then they do have the crafter's signature on there as well. Now, I know you said initially you weren't that impressed with it on your tasting. What do you think now, second time? I liked it.
I don't know. I get some harshness off of it, and I'm not as keen on the mesquite-ish. I don't know why. It just comes across as a mesquite wood.
See, I don't get that it's mesquite.
With the water in there, it definitely brings it in a little bit more where I would like it with more of just a woody, sweet, syrupy kind of taste. So, but I mean, it's not bad. It's pleasant. It's got a little bit of a bite to it, but then it's smooth at the same time. The odor still comes in a little bit harsh to me, though. A little bit of the lacquer in there.
I like it. I'm not giving malt scores yet or scores on our bourbons till I try a few more. I'm newer to it. Bart is, and whatever he gives it, just add 1 or 2.
Well, I give it an 81.
Oh, wow. No.
81's not bad. Well, you just said add 1 or 2 to it.
If I was scoring bourbons, this is more like an 88.
Really? So you're scoring bourbons?
If I was scoring bourbons.
You just did.
It's higher than Bart's. I like it. I think it's pleasant, and there is something that's a little bit different in there. You're saying a harshness. I don't think it's a harshness. I think there's something there's a different flavor in there.
Right. I think
that's not
maybe
present.
That's the wood chips.
Maybe it is the wood.
Because I get the vanilla.
I like it.
I get the vanilla cream at the end. It's got a pleasant aftertaste, and maybe it's just the oddness that I can't figure out, and maybe it's that I'm getting a mesquite, which I'm not a fan of, and maybe that's just the wood chips. But I don't know.
I mean, once we try a few more, and down the road, I would revise that score. My thoughts on this, but initially,
I wouldn't turn it down. The nose is just with a little bit of that lacquer and that early iodine, which does go away with the water. It's very smooth. I like the creamy finish. And maybe it's simply that I can't pin down that mesquite type wood flavor that kind of throws it into an oddness for me. And but I mean, 81.
Yeah.
And what was your malt mark again?
If I gave them, hypothetically, 88.
Hypothetically, if you gave it a number, you'd give it the number of 88.
Yep. The mayor cannot confirm nor deny that number.
Maybe someday you'll score.
May or may not have been in that proximity.
We're done. America's Whiskey Wednesday.
Cheers.
Whiskey it, you Scotch gods. See you guys.
What's funny is a few of those where you're like, yeah, I'm trying not to say. I can see it in your eyes, and you're like, you'll go, well.
Yeah, I'm holding.
Yeah, where you're holding it back, and you're like,
let Bruno talk. Are you ready? You done?
Yeah.